Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with a review of the Lishi Toys L6052 aircraft. Essentially, this is a LaTrax Alias clone. However, they have done some, decent redesign of it. The canopy is different, but it still kind of has that car look to it. But, a pretty good looking quad for the most part. It's got kind of unique looking props on it, which I liked. Does not come in green though, so I had to break my collection of green Alias clones and whatnot with a yellow one, but not bad in yellow. Kind of looks like a little like Bumblebee or like the Transformer maybe or something like that. Transmitter is a little bit disappointing. Xbox 360 style with thumb pads. There's no optional sticks or anything, so I'm not a huge fan of that. There's just a low and high rate buttons, so it's not like no real easy convenient way to change rates. It's kind of hard to get at there. And there's only one yaw between the two rates, and it's a really slow yaw. I've heard that apparently the original version of this had a nice fast yaw rate and was actually pretty sporty, but then they came out with a new, improved version or whatever that has added headless mode essentially, and there is a camera available now. I did not get the camera version. But apparently, when they added this headless mode, they slowed down the yaw rate for some reason, which is just inexcusable. For a sport quad like this, you need to have a fast yaw rate. You need to be able to do, quick turns and funnels and, nice fast pirouettes and stuff. So the slow yaw rate really hinders your ability to fly this thing. Even the pitch rates are pretty slow. Even on high rates, this thing is a little bit slow. So, I don't know if, with this headless mode, if they're just gearing everything towards beginners now, or what the deal is, but, this I'm going to call the beginner's alias clone. I think it's going to be a little bit disappointing for the experienced flyers, but for the beginning flyers, I think this one is going to be pretty manageable. It's got these little foam landing feet. However, they only have like a kind of a double sticky, tacky stuff. They're not glued on there. So I found them coming off in crashes, and I had to glue them on with Gorilla Glue so that they really stay in place. So keep an eye on those. They may come off pretty easy on you. But it's got the nice LED arms, just like the LaTrax Alias, so the whole arm glows. So pretty good for night flying, nice and bright and easy to see. However, there is no way to turn off the LEDs on this one. They're on all the time. This button in the center here is how you turn on headless mode. However, this one, I'm not a big fan of headless mode, and I don't think it's reliable enough to actually use. But this one had the foresight, at least, of when you sync it up, you start it with the nose facing away from you, and when you turn it on, it sets headless mode at that time. So make sure that you've got the transmitter pointed and the quad pointed away from you, have it facing you, so now you've set headless mode where back is towards you. So whenever in the middle of the flight, when you turn on headless mode, it's going to remember that. So you can turn it on when it's sideways, but back is still going to be towards you. So that actually would be helpful in the case of a flyaway or whatever. Just turn on headless mode and hold back, and it should, in theory, come back to you regardless of how it's actually facing, because you set the direction right off the bat when you start flight. So that's thoughtful. However, it still has the same issue I found where, with time, which way it's actually, forward is will slowly change. But, it is one of the smarter headless modes, being that you set it right off the bat like that. Okay, and so it comes with a 500 milliamp hour battery. It's kind of a weird, long, skinny battery, which there's some extra wiggle room in the battery compartment. So I thought that was a little bit weird. It may kind of move around mid-flight and affect flight, characteristics. But I didn't actually have that ever happen. It just seems, in theory that it could happen. screwdriver, some screws for the spare set of props, and a USB charging cable. And then it also has optional prop guards, which use one screw to attach. But they're actually really nice functional prop guards. They work well. They're, you know, durable and nice and firm. And they don't really affect flight performance too much. You can, you know, you can still flip with them on. And it, you know, it seemed to fly just fine with the guards on. So I was pretty happy with the guards. And they kind of give it a cool look. It's, I don't know, it's just a nice solid look to them. They're not all flimsy like some of the other prop guards. Let's see, for the battery we've got about 1 hour to charge, and you get about 6-minute and 45-second flights with the prop guards on, or 7.5 minutes without the prop guards on. So a little bit short on the flight times for, you know, the Alias clone department. The Alias and some other clones all have longer flights than this one, but I guess that's due to the, you know, having the slightly smaller battery. So on the transmitter here, your left bumper just does an automatic forward flip, and your right bumper, then you move the right stick and you flip however you want. So that's kind of weird. I would have preferred to just have, you know, rates on one of these bumpers instead of down here, and who needs just an automatic forward flip button? That kind of seems pointless to me. Let's see, what else is there to say? Oh, and there's a 50-second LVC warning, so you got a pretty good warning. You know, the lights will blink, so you know to get it back to you. And there's no way to recalibrate the accelerometer as far as I was able to find. I tried all the different stick combinations and nothing worked. So it may just do it on startup, so be sure to have it on a level surface when you plug the battery in. And it probably sets the accelerometer every time. Okay, well that's all there is to say about it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll put the prop guards on. We'll do a little indoor flight, show you how the prop guards work, and we'll turn off the lights so you can get an idea of what flying in the dark is like. And then I'll take the prop guards off and we'll take it outside for a more aggressive flight. So let's go check it out. Alright, this is a quick little indoor flight of the L6052. I'm just going to show off the prop guards, and we'll turn off the lights and check out the LEDs in the dark. So this thing flies just fine with the prop guards on. They really have no effect on it at all. Just a really slow yaw, so it's kind of hard to do much indoors. But we'll show off the prop guards there. So they work really well. They're nice and beefy. Whoop, I spoke too soon. So yeah, that happens sometimes. If you hit too hard, it kind of flops over on its front like that. But anyway, that was a prop guard test. So let's turn off the lights and look at the LEDs. And this is definitely a night flyer, just like the Alias and the other clones. The LEDs in the arms are very visible at all angles, very bright. So definitely no problem flying this one in the dark. Alright, we'll take it in for a landing. Oop, not quite on the landing pad there. Alright, well that was the quick little indoor test, so now I'll take the prop guards off and we'll take it outside and take it for a real spin. Alright, let's check that out. Alright, this is the outdoor flight of the L6052. Got it on high rates. Let's see what I can do with it. So yaw is pretty slow. I don't expect to be able to do can barely do a funnel of any sorts. Looks like we got a fighting couple over here in the background. The wind's pushing it around a bit. We've got maybe 5 or 6 mile an hour wind. kind of throwing it around a little more than I expected. That yaw rate really is slow. I don't know, man. It's nice and smooth and steady, but it sure is not fast. That's full speed ahead right there. I'm on high rates. Full speed with the wind. Full speed into the wind. Full speed. The yaw is just so slow. No funnels with this one. Lots of activity out here today. Gives itself some throttle before it does the flip. Yeah, it kind of gives a little throttle kick going into the flip, so it recovers a little. Actually, it seems to be recovering a little bit higher than where it starts to flip. Whoa, wind got it a little bit there. Full speed in the wind. So I don't know. I mean, it's smooth and stable, but it's not fast. Definitely not as fast as the Alias. And that yaw rate really hinders it from being able to get too fancy. Not sure what they were thinking. I mean, I'm doing full yaw there, trying to get a pirouette going or a funnel going. It's just not happening. So anyway, I think that's a long enough flight. We'll go ahead and bring it back for a landing. And there we go. That's the Lishi Toys L6052. Pretty neat looking quad, but a little bit hindered by slow rates. But you know, nice flyer nonetheless. Alright, we'll check the video description for price and purchase links, and I'll see you next time.